Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grow Your Business Smarter, Live Your Optimal Life TV show. Hi, I'm Dr. Davia Shepherd, of course, your host. And this show, for those of you who are catching us for the very first time, first of all, welcome. So glad to have you. This show is focused on women in business. We're talking about all kinds of women in business, women in small business, women who have bigger businesses, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, women in leadership positions in corporate situations, women in nonprofit. Even some of our members who watch along with us on the show are retired. But what holds us together, what really, really is our glue, is that we firmly believe that when women have money, the entire community benefits. And that when women support each other, more women have money. So doesn't it seem obvious then that if there are members of our community who have gifts and talents to share that can help us to grow our businesses, that it would be smarter for us to all just get together, pool our resources, and just do better, be better, have more, be more, serve a bigger audience, have a bigger community, be able to shine our light so much more brightly. Doesn't that make sense? So that's what we're all about. But here's the thing, what seems to happen sometimes is that as we're in that hustle and we're in that grind, we get overwhelmed, we get stressed, and we're growing our businesses, and we're even linking arms and doing it in a smarter way, but we're not living our optimal life. The beauty and the brilliance of our lives tends to be missing. And so, what we hope to do with this show is bring you resources to help you not only grow your businesses and make it the very best it can possibly be, but also to also live your best life while you're at it. Wouldn't that be great though? Like, wouldn't that be the absolute best thing? So, I invite you certainly tune in and join our show. We're here every single week, but also come join our community. Come be a part of this group of women, about 1,000 or so of my business besties who really believe in this idea that when we pool our resources, everybody wins. And it's very easy to join us. Just go over to growsmarter.com/log in. And there you'll have to register. It's completely free, but you'll have to register. And once you register and you get in there, you'll see all our resources. So you can join our free Facebook group. You can join us for our monthly networking meetings. You can see all back episodes of our shows and things like that. Lots and lots of resources to help you to shine your light and light up the people you're here to light up. And then they light up their people. And on it goes, folks, until, I don't know, I had this really grandiose idea that all of that makes the world a better place, just one person at a time. So come join us, growsmarter.harder.com/log in, and come be a part of our community. All right, enough about me and all my stuff. Let's get on with this show. Today, we have a very special guest. I'm so happy to have Jenny on the show with us. And Jenny, I'd love to ask you, would you be so kind as to introduce yourself in your own words? Say to our amazing audience the amazing stuff that you've been up to.
Thank you so much, Dr. Davia. I'm so happy to be here with you today. My name is Jenny Harkleroad. I'm the founder and CEO of Balanced You. I'm a two-time #1 bestselling author and speaker and mind change coach and teacher. In my former life, I was a top producing realtor here in San Diego. I had a team of buyer's agents and secretaries, and we were producing double digits in the millions. But my greatest claim to fame are my 4 amazing children who are now grown-ups. I'm not sure how that happened. Luckily, they age and I don't. And yeah, I just love helping people to tap into the power of their mind. We'll get into my story today, but some tragic things happened to me and I was able to overcome them. And I love sharing the tools that I finally figured out after decades of struggle on how to really create a balanced life and a balanced mind and a happy, peaceful, joyful, healthy mind. And so I can't wait to share my tips and tools and tricks and techniques with you today.
Thank you so much, Jenny. It's so great to have you on. So I want to share with everybody that Jenny's part of a mastermind that I am a part of. And so I get a chance to see her maybe at least once a month or so and really get a chance to enjoy her wisdom. And on the last mastermind that I attended, I raised my hand and I said, Jenny, would you be interested in coming on the show and sharing your amazing wisdom with our community? And of course, being the amazing person that she is, she absolutely said yes. So the question that I love to start things off with when I chat to wonderful people like you, Jenny, is this one. If you could reach your arm around the world and give us all this big, amazing hug and just tell us this one thing that will change us all for the better, based on what you do and what you bring to the world, what would that one thing be?
Yeah, I would tell everyone that they're limitless. They can do anything they want. The only thing holding them back is right between their ears. And so if they can let go of that stinking thinking they can achieve anything. It doesn't matter where they were born or what they have or what they don't, or if they're a doctor like you or not. I never went to college. Well, I never got a degree. Let's say that. I started college, never finished. It doesn't matter. You can do anything you want to do. If you believe you can achieve, if you want something bad enough, you can make it happen. So
Mhm.
start dreaming again. Start
Start
dreaming again.
dreaming again. I love
Yeah.
that so much
Yeah.
because, and this is what I was talking about at the top, Jenny. We get so busy in our day to day. There's an author that I particularly love who talks about being on that hamster wheel. It's Brené Brown, folks. I love Brené Brown. Talks about being on that hamster wheel and just we don't have time to take a minute to remember what did we love? What was important to us? What were our dreams before we started to get so caught up in the day to day? So I love that you are inviting us to start dreaming again. That's wonderful. So, what's the number one thing that you teach to your clients in your business? Why do people come to see you?
Yeah. Most people come to see me.
Unless they don't come to see you and you go to see them. I don't know the transportation
Yeah.
mechanism
Yeah.
that you use, but what are you teaching folks?
Yeah. I teach people how to solve their problems and achieve their goals. And I wish more people would come to me to achieve their goals, but usually more people come to me to solve their problems because problems are painful, right? And a lot of times on goals, we're like, yeah, it would be nice. We want to, we hope to, we wish to. But when you have a problem that's bad, if you're in pain, if you're really unhappy, if you're stressed out, if you're burnout, you're like grasping for help, for solutions. And so a lot of times people come to me at that point where they're at their wits' end. They don't know what else to do. They've tried everything for their physical pain, for their emotional pain. And they're just, they're a middle-aged professional woman who thinks that, I have what I should have to be happy, and I'm just not. I don't understand why I'm struggling. I don't know why my relationships aren't working. What what do I do? How do I fix this? How do I turn this ship around? And so that would be the majority of my clients really. They're struggling and they want solutions, and I'm happy to provide them.
But what's the main reason why they're struggling? I mean, they're at middle age. Some would say that's like the best age, the best time to be alive in the world. What's the reason? What's going on in their heads?
Yeah, you said it. What's going on in their heads? That is exactly what the issue is. And the subconscious mind is in control of how we feel and think and act and react. And a lot of times we're unaware of that fact, unless we've studied it or learned it somewhere. A lot of times we think we're consciously in control and we
Mhm.
don't understand why we're feeling a certain way and we don't understand how to change it. And the subconscious is timeless. And so I saw this demonstration one time that really stuck with me. I was at a conference, a lady was on stage and she was speaking about this very topic. And she went around the room down in the audience and she started taking people's purses off the back of their chairs and putting them over her shoulder. And she said that each purse represented a limiting belief that someone in the audience had about themselves. They were unworthy or undeserving or not good enough or not smart enough. And she just kept taking one purse after the next, after the next, after the next. And I mean, her shoulders were piling up and her back was bending. She was starting to have trouble to walk around the room because of all these limited beliefs and thoughts. And she said that's how it is. And as the decades go on, the more they pile up, unless you have some way to release them, unless you know how to let go of those things. And because a lot of times they're below the surface, they're subconscious. Even if you try to think positive, as soon as you stop trying, you go back to the old program. And so that's why people struggle. It's because things just pile up over the decades and they don't have a mechanism to release them. And so that's what I teach them, how to let those things go. And can you imagine with all those purses piled up when you get rid of all of them? It's just like, oh, freedom. And that's how our clients feel after working with us. It's like, oh my goodness, I didn't know I could feel this good. And what was it? Just the weight in their subconscious mind pulling them down day after day, second by second.
So I'm going to ask you a question that probably, well, I don't know. I'm just going to ask, like, if it's just in our minds, why are we carrying these mental bags? I mean, they may be Louis Vuitton or Gucci, I don't know, but why are we carrying these mental bags around? Like, why don't we just let go of it?
No, yeah. The reason we don't let them go is because we don't understand that we're doing that and we don't understand how to let them go. So it's like you can't solve the problem when you don't understand the problem, right? You just wake up and you're not happy, or you feel bad or mad or sad or depressed or anxious or stressed, and you don't know why and you don't know how to fix it. And so you do all the things, and if those things don't work, then what do you do? And so that's where I come in. I've got a solution, and I hope to come in sooner than that, sooner than a place of desperation. I would love to work with someone doing fantastic and help them do even better. But again,
Hmm.
a lot of times we kind of, you talked about that self-care. We don't take care of ourselves till it's real bad. And then we're like, I need help now.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned two things. You mentioned one, we don't even realize. And then two, if we even realize, we don't know how
Right.
to unbag ourselves, how to get rid of that luggage. And I like to think that this show is a practical resource. Like people can look at the title and think, oh, this is something that relates to me. I'm going to watch it and I'm going to get maybe 2 to 5 tips that I can just go and implement in my life and actually see at least a small win, see something change, see something new happen.
Yeah.
So give us some give us some tips, some do's and don'ts. If we are trying to see what our baggage is, and we're operating under the assumption that there is some baggage there for every single one of us, how do
Absolutely.
we even see our
Yeah.
baggage? What are the do's and don'ts for seeing what's going on?
Yeah. So I love this, and it's such an easy answer. And I call it the 17-second rule. And it goes like this: a thought is an electrical signal in the brain for 17 seconds or less. But if it goes on for more than 17 seconds, it becomes a chemical reaction within our body. So we start to feel equal to the way we're thinking. And when we feel equal to the way we're thinking, it attracts like thoughts to prove to us why what we're thinking and what we're feeling is true. And what that does is it changes our energy field, which changes what we attract and what we manifest in our life. And so if you can reverse engineer that, how you're feeling is based on how you're thinking. So if you don't like how you're feeling, you have to change your thinking. And you only have 17 seconds or less to do it before you get caught in this feedback loop where you're believing your own story because your brain and your emotions are proving to you that what you're thinking is true. And so what you have to do is you have to be more mindful of what you're thinking. And you have to ask yourself, that thought I just had, is that what I want to create in my life? And if
Mhm,
it's not, you have to change the thought. The problem is we believe our thoughts, right? You walk down the hall and your kids leave a mess all over their toys scattered everywhere. And you think, why are my kids, why don't they listen to me? Why don't they pick up after themselves? Didn't I teach them better? Like whatever it is that you're thinking. And then you have to ask yourself, how would I rather feel? And what action can I take to feel that way? So maybe I need to be a little more lighthearted about the toys. Maybe I need to focus on how blessed am I to have these amazing kids. Maybe we need to have 5 minutes every hour where it's like dance party cleanup time. Let's all, get organized. Like, how can we turn this around instead of just having that negative thinking, negative thinking, negative thinking? Because the more we think it, the more we attract it and the more it becomes a reality. Now, kids' toys on the floor might be frustrating, but there's a lot of things in life even worse, for sure, right? And so, what are those worst things, and how are you thinking about them? And how can you change the thought? And what action can you take to create a new reality? So maybe it's a health condition. Maybe it's pain in your body. I struggled with that. I struggled with chronic pain most of my life. And then in 2013, I broke my back in a hiking accident. And I was basically bedridden for 3 years. And after 3 years, they told me my case was hopeless and there was nothing I could do about it, nothing more. I mean, I'd had major surgery. I've got rods and screws and a synthetic disc. I did all the Western medicine. I did all the Eastern medicine. Nothing was working for me.
mhm, mhm.
But you know what I said? I refuse to accept that. I will find a solution. And so I think if we can do that same thing in our life, what's going through our head, what we're being told, if you can say, I refuse to accept that. I'm not going to be depressed. I'm not going to be anxious. I'm not going to be overweight. I'm not going to be worried, whatever the thing is. No, I'm not going there. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to create a new reality for myself. What is the first step in this new reality? What can I do right now? Instead of worrying about it, how about I fix it? And so changing that mentality, catching those thoughts is the first step.
What I love about what you're saying, Jenny, is you're saying change your thoughts. And we've heard this before. So this fits right in with what we're expecting. Change your thoughts, reframe, think it in a more positive way. But then I love that you're also saying what's the next good thing that you can do. So can you say a little bit more about the value of adding action there?
Yeah, my favorite saying is the Lord can't steer a parked car, right? Like
You
you have to get
know,
in
I mean,
motion.
physics, right?
Yeah, it's like a bicycle. Like, have you ever tried to balance on a bicycle when it's not moving? it's so
Not
hard.
gonna happen.
But once you get some inertia going, right, then we're moving. And it's the same thing in life. Like, you can sit on the couch thinking positive about your business success, but if you're not out networking and following up and doing the steps, you can think positive all day. It's not going to just come, show up at your door. Like, we need to take action for things to happen. And so the action is, it also takes you out of that negative thought process. It
Mhm,
puts you
mhm.
into, okay, what do I want instead? And how do I create it? And what am I going to do right now to create it? What's my next step?
And I love that you didn't dive into action. You did the reframe first,
Yeah.
got your mind in a better place, and then
Yes.
getting into action that is coming from a place that is more positive. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the hardest thing to do is to allow yourself to switch the thought. Because if your husband just said something that ticked you off, it's really hard to be willing to maybe see it in a different light or to let it go or to maybe see how you might have been the catalyst for that comment, right? It's easier to just say, if he would just stop being so whatever, then I would feel better. And so it's like, I love the Michael Jackson. It's the man in the mirror. You got to look at yourself and make the change. That's how you change the world, starting from within. When you see things different, the whole world does appear different.
Norman Vincent Peale. I love it. I
Yeah.
just want to take one quick moment to say hello to our friends who are watching along with us on Win Win Women TV and also to our friends who are watching along with us inside of Ladies Power Lunch. I want to shout out to Marianne Pack. Hi, I see you. Sue Stack Steele is tuning in from Atlanta and she says, inspired action is what's important. And I love that. I feel like she's really, really vibing with what you're saying, that you're getting a lot of hearts and likes over there in our Ladies Power Lunch group. So great. We're on track. So, okay, we have a blueprint for helping us to identify the stuff that we need to focus on. Okay, we found it. We've Eureka, we know what it is that is our baggage now and we're ready to take it off. But it seems like taking it off is not as simple of a process as we might have at first thought. So give us some guides for getting rid of that baggage.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to say a shout out to Jalen, who's watching live too. I love Jalen. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Jalen.
Yeah. So what I teach people is I've created these 18 different brain exercises that repattern the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is 1 million times more powerful than the conscious mind and controls us about 95% of the time. Now, this may seem hard to believe, and I've been given this example recently because this just happened to me. I just cleaned out my laundry room cabinets. It was overdue. And for whatever reason, I decided to move the dryer sheets from the left cabinet to the right cabinet. Now, every time I go to do a load in the dryer, guess what happens? I reach for the right cabinet and I go, oh, I moved them. So I get out of the left. And then the next time, guess what I do? I reach for the right cabinet and I go, oh, I moved them to the left. I have been doing this over and over and over, and I love it because it just reminds me of how we're just automated, right? We're driving across town and we get home, we're like, I don't even know how I got here. I was thinking about something else. I was talking on the phone, right? Our subconscious controls us. And so when we're trying to change something about our life, we're only in control of it if we're focused on it. That's why we say on Monday, I'm going to start eating healthy and I'm going to start exercising for real this time. And then by Wednesday, someone brings donuts into the office. And before we know it, we're taking our last bite and we're like, what just happened? We reach for the right instead of the left because it's that pattern, that subconscious, that automated. And so I teach people these brain exercises so that their subconscious mind can get repatterned. So it's not a constant battle because otherwise it takes muscle memory. Eventually, I will start reaching left. It'll become subconscious after I do it so many times, my subconscious will finally catch on. Where I live, the road has been closed for almost 2 years. At first, I used to always go left and then they closed it, so I had to go right. 2 months or so, I turned left and had to make a U-turn for 2 months before my subconscious caught on. Now they're about to open the road. Guess what? I'm going to turn right when I can turn left. It's just our brain is habitual. And so I teach people how to do these brain exercises that repattern their brain to help support them because I know how powerful that subconscious is. When I said it's 1 million times more powerful, I'm not just saying like, oh, it's 1 million times, like scientifically proven 1 million times more powerful. Our conscious mind processes 40 bits of information per second, subconscious 40 million bits of information per second. So 1 million times more power. We want to tap into that power. And that's how you can change things automatically. For example, I played the flute in church this past Sunday, 2 days ago. I used to be so nervous when I would get up to play that my throat would tense up and I would shake. And if you're trying to play something beautiful and your throat's clenched and your fingers are shaking, it's really hard to perform. And so I repatterned my subconscious mind so that when I got up to play, I could just play and not be nervous. And I'm happy to report on Sunday, I got up and just played. I was not nervous at all. Why? It wasn't because I was trying not to be nervous. Have you ever tried not to be nervous? Like, how do you not be nervous? It's like, how do you undo mad, right? Like, how do you switch it? Well, it's subconscious. You got to get to the root of the problem. So the conscious mind catches the problem, and then you change it in the subconscious mind, and then you take conscious mind action to move you toward your goal.
So I love this. A, great that you're an accomplished flautist. Yay for you.
Thank you.
And two, I love that you have all these different sort of workshops or routines that you can teach folks to move yourself from being in this state to being in a different state. So is there one exercise or one piece of homework that you can give us that we can go ahead and do that's going to help us maybe take off one of those bags?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Would you like me to teach a brain exercise right now?
Could you?
I could. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Well,
So,
our folks who are watching along definitely are giving you a thumbs up. They
okay.
definitely want to see that. So I say go for it.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to describe it and show you how to do it. We're not actually going to like go through the whole process, but I'll tell you how to do it so that you can do it after the show. So basically what you do is you take the problem and you flip it into the opposite. So maybe the problem is I want to lose 20 pounds, or the goal is I want to lose 20 pounds. And you flip it into the opposite, which is it was so easy for me to lose 20 pounds, or it's so easy for me to be at my ideal perfect weight. You put your goal into the positive. It could be something about relationships. Like it's so easy for me to get along with fill in the blank. It could be about business. I'm so comfortable making 10 new reach out calls a day, right? You want to say it like it already exists. You're going to come up with a statement. It's going to sound like a positive affirmation statement, but we're not saying a positive affirmation. We're going to literally program that into the subconscious mind. So step one, write the statement. Step two is a brain exercise. So again, I have 18 of them that do different things. I'll show you one of them. So this brain exercise works by you start by giving yourself a hug, crossing your arms and putting your hands on your shoulders. And then you're going to close your eyes. And for 1 minute, you're going to silently repeat that goal that you wrote down. As soon as you cross your arms like this, it opens something in your brain called the corpus callosum. It separates both hemispheres of the brain and it keeps you stuck in your old way of being. When you cross your arms, it opens that brain bridge so you can build a new neural pathway in your brain. When you close your eyes, it slows the brain down into a more programmable state so you can change your way of being. It also changes your energy field. All of these things we've measured scientifically to see the changes in the brain, the energy field, the cellular response. So you do that for a minute, and then you're going to uncross your arms and recross them so the other arm is on top. And put them on your shoulders. And you're going to, again, with your eyes closed, repeat your goal for a minute. And if your conscious mind is arguing with you, like, oh, you've tried this before, I don't think this is going to work, this is too simple, whatever the argument is, just don't listen to it. Just keep saying the goal over and over. When you're done with that, you're going to uncross your arms and start tapping your fingertips together like this. So your palms are separated, like you have a ball between your palms, tapping your fingers. Again, you'll close your eyes and you'll do it for a minute. And then you'll hold your fingertips together, repeating your goal for one last minute. And then when you're done, you're going to open your eyes and you're going to take a drink of water because this process causes heat in the brain and heat causes dehydration. So you have a drink of water. And then you're going to ask yourself, what action can I take moving forward to achieve this goal? What can I do about it? Right? So maybe when I go to the grocery store tonight, I'm going to stick to the outside aisles and buy healthier stuff. Maybe I'm going to start packing my lunch. Maybe I'm going to pack my gym clothes and go to the gym. Maybe when my husband says something to me, I'm going to be more open and curious instead of defensive. Maybe I'm going to get my 10 business calls done first before I do anything else. And what you'll notice is now that your subconscious is supporting you instead of sabotaging you, it seems so easy. You're like, why was this difficult in the past? It's because your subconscious, that's a million times more powerful, wasn't supporting you. If you look at your life, it's a printout of your subconscious program. Where life is easy, you have a program that supports you. Where life is not easy, you don't. So you're fighting against yourself, fighting, fighting, fighting. So when you get your brain supporting you, it's taking those purses off. It's like, oh, my goodness, why was this so difficult before? And now it's not. So write the goal statement, do the brain exercise, crossing, tapping, holding, get a drink of water, write an action plan and do it. Yeah. And Just in case you want to know, I have a new little itty bitty book out, and that process is in my itty bitty book. So if you want to check it out in book format, you can do that. It's called Your Amazing Itty Bitty Magic Mind Book. It's on Amazon.
I love that. And I like that it is bite size, so
Yeah,
folks can really consume it easily.
yeah,
I'm going to put in a shameless plug for our Ladies Power Lunch community
yeah.
because one of the things that we do is we have book club. So
Nice.
at our next Ladies Power Lunch monthly meeting, which is it's always the third Monday of the month. So the next one is the 19th, I think. We are going to get together and we're going to choose 12 books that we're going to do one per month for the next coming 12 months.
Nice.
And I invite all our members to be sure to show up for that because if there's a book that is either a personal development book or a book that is a business growth book,
Yeah.
and it's your favorite and you feel like we all need to know about it, bring it to book club because you just might get it on the list. And also, I feel like it's a great opportunity for you too, Jenny, to show up on that meeting and come share about your book. So even if your book, I feel like your book would make it to the list, but even if your book doesn't make it on the list, at least people will know about it and they'll have an opportunity to go get it because it sounds really, really amazing.
Thank
Give
you.
us one final tip, Jenny, just one thing for the road, one last thing. If we remember nothing of what you've said today, which we totally will, but if
Okay,
you
good.
remember nothing, what's the one thing you want
Yeah.
us to leave with?
Yeah, I think I'll link it back to the beginning. Start dreaming again. When was it that you gave up on your dream and why? And put that aside and find that dream again and get after it because it's waiting for you. We all have a calling, a purpose. And so if you know what it is, do it. And if you don't, figure it out and live your dream, make an impact for the world. We all have some special gift to give, and it's so important to share it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Folks are wondering, Jenny's so great. How can I connect with Jenny? And I've been saying to folks, come join us in our Ladies Power Lunch community because Jenny's also there and you can connect with her there. But in addition to going to growsmarternotharder.com/login and being a part of our community, how can folks find you, Jenny?
Yeah, I love that. So my website is balancedyou.org. And the thing that I'm most excited about right now is I just came out with an app where you can do my brain exercises. It's so fun, it's so gamified, and it's so affordable
Mhm.
that you can use it every day to work on your mind. So if you go to the App Store or the Google Play Store, you want to look up Leap, like a frog leaps, Leap Transformation. It has a frog on it. You'll see it right at the top. And it's a free week trial. And then it's only $14.99 a month. And you can program your subconscious mind anytime. And I recommend at least once a day because psychologists say we have 50,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day. And you see that 80% of them are negative and 90% of them are a repeat of yesterday, which is why today feels like the week before and the month before and the year before, because we're just recycling the same thought patterns and processes. So get on the app and let it support you in reaching those dreams.
I love that you have an app, Jenny, because we're all going about our daily lives. And yes, this was a great show, and everybody tuned in and they watched it and they learned that one exercise. And they even have an intention
Yeah,
to go get your book on Amazon. But then life happens,
right.
right? But what's the one thing that we always have with us?
Always.
I mean, when I'm sleeping, like my phone's right there on the charger.
Yep.
And I have small children, so my phone is always with me because
Yeah,
in case of emergency, break glass, right? It's
right.
it's here to be that. So I love that you have an app. And I think there's another opportunity, perhaps, for you to come back on the show. And because we're always talking, of course, and today is I Live Your Optimal Life show, but there's also that Grow Smarter piece, right? So coming back on the show and talking to us about maybe some things in our businesses that would benefit from being an app that you might be able to also share your process with us. I think that's a really, really great opportunity. If there are folks out there who want to get in on the ground floor and they love this idea and they want to share your app with folks, how can they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if they would like to be an affiliate partner and get paid to share my app, they can go to balancedyou.org/partner and get registered, and I'll get with them on how they can do that. If they just want to talk about it, they can send anyone they want to Leap Transformation in the App Store or Google Play Store.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. That's so amazing. I usually, at the end of every show, I pull a card. And I have a number of these Oracle card decks that are here in my office. And for the last few months, for some reason, this one, the Love Your Inner Goddess guidebook
Mm,
by Alana Fairchild, it's just been the one that I want to pull from. It's the one that wants to come forward. So let's pull a card. It's
okay.
interesting to see. the card that I pull, if it has any bearing at all on the conversation that we've had. And so far, it's been pretty on point, but you never know. Let's see what shows up for us today. So, ooh, beautiful bandit. She's a bandit, folks, because instead of fake eyelashes, she has butterflies. And her tattoo on her eyelid says spiritual gangster.
Whoa,
She's
interesting.
here, she's bringing it. For those of you who have this particular deck, it's card number 29. There is a reading that goes along with it. As always, I will post the card in the Ladies Power Lunch community inside our Facebook group. So come on in, growsmarternotharder.com/login, and you'll be able to engage in the conversation, say what this card is meaning for you. So I'm going to tell you what it says, Jenny, and you tell me what you think in
Okay.
terms of what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
It says, you can choose right now to feel good about yourself. If you've been beating yourself up, stop it now. Don't let anybody else decide how you should feel about yourself. Taking responsibility for your actions means that when you've done something that you feel is out of integrity, you do something that is constructive, useful. Damning yourself with judgment or allowing another to steal your self-esteem is neither of those things. The Divine Mother is telling you to forgive yourself and use your energy now to live the best life you can. It's time to
Yeah.
take your life back. I feel like we've done it again, folks. We pulled a card that's right on topic. I think I would end that by saying it's time to start taking off those bags.
Yes.
What do you think, Jenny?
Yeah. And
What's this one saying for
it
you?
kept saying, if you're feeling, and remember that I taught that you're feeling the way you're thinking. So if you can go back to how am I thinking right now? That's the reason I'm feeling this way. So if you can
Mm,
change the thought and ask yourself, what would I rather think? How would I rather feel? And start a new creation, it's going to change so much faster than anything else you could do.
I love it. I love it. Yep, we pulled a good one again, folks. We pulled one that really ties in with what we're trying to talk about. So,
Yes.
Jenny, this has been amazing. Before we go, I just want to say one last thing, folks. We have coming up our Ladies Power Lunch fall retreat. We're going to the Bahamas. We're going to Bimini this time around. So, different island from the one that we went to last time. Fun fact, most of the folks who signed up to come on this retreat are folks who've been on retreat with us before. They love it so much. They keep coming back. And I had an opportunity to talk to some of them this morning and ask them, why are you even coming on retreat with us again? You've been on retreat with us before. What's the deal? I mean, is it the Bahamas? You could go to the Bahamas at any time. And they said, because we offer because life is full of stress and their intention is to reduce that, they want to, and I wrote down these words and I thought this is so great because I love alliteration. They want to reduce stress, increase success, solutions, they want to simplify their lives, and they want support. I swear to you, I asked these women and they gave me all these S words. So now I'm gonna have to go. Oh, and they said they want to decrease their stress and decrease feeling stuck. And they get solutions, they simplify their lives, and they get support and business success. And I was like, all these S words, where is all of this coming from? I just thought it was amazing. So I'm going to go write a blog post about this because I thought these women, they're amazing. They're the best. I have to share this with everybody, but I thought I'd share that with y'all this morning because it just happened literally about 15 minutes before we hopped on the call here. So we still have 3 rooms available for our fall retreat. It's not too late to get on that if you're interested in being a part of this amazing community of women who are going to get together and dive a little bit more deeply into solving their lives. And so come on over. If you want more information, go to growsmarternotharder.com/retreat. And there's a ton of information there. If you want to talk to us directly, you can send me a direct message as well. That works. So thank you so much, Jenny, for being a part of our show today. Really, really, really appreciate you and really appreciate the work that you're doing in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was great being with you.
Thank you. And thanks also to our amazing folks who are watching over here with us in the Ladies Power Lunch group. There are a couple of people who I haven't seen in a long time. Hi, Shalane. Hi, Donna. These are some of our amazing friends. Donna has been on retreat with us in the past, and I'd love to also pick her brain to see what she liked about retreat, and maybe she'll give me some more S words. So that would be great. Good day, good day. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in wherever you are finding us. If you're finding us on the Win-Win Women platform, if you're finding us on social media, if you're finding us on YouTube, on our podcast, wherever you're finding us, I invite you. I know it is not a big deal for you, but it's everything for us when you like or subscribe or whatever is the way that you can show that you appreciate what we're doing. I'm asking you, will you do that for us? Really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you all. I will see you all on the next show. Bye, everyone.